I know that all beneath the moon decays, and what by mortals in this world is brought in time's great periods shall return to naught. That fairest states have fatal nights and days. I know how all the muses' heavenly lays with toil of sprite, which are so dearly bought, as idle sounds of few or none are sought, and that naught lighter is than airy praise. I know frail beauties like the purple flower, to which one morn oft birth and death affords, that love a jarring is of minds' accords, where sense and will invassal reason's power. Know what I list, this all cannot me move, but that, O me, I both must write and love. Fair is my yoke, though grievous be my pains. Sweet are my wounds, although they deeply smart. My bit is gold, though shortened be the reins. My bondage brave, though I may not depart. Although I burn, the fire which doth impart those flames so sweet reviving force contains, that like Arabia's bird my wasted heart, made quick by death, more lively still remains. I joy, though oft my waking eyes spend tears, I never want delight, even when I groan, best companied when most I am alone. A heaven of hopes I have midst hells of fears. Thus every way contentment strange I find, but most in her rare beauty, my rare mind. How that vast heaven entitled first is rolled, if any other worlds beyond it lie, and people living in eternity, or essence pure that doth this all uphold. What motion have those fixed sparks of gold, the wandering carbuncles which shine from high, by sprites or bodies contrariwise in sky, if they be turned and mortal things behold? How sun posts heaven about, how night's pale queen with borrowed beams looks on this hanging round. What cause fair Iris hath, and monsters seen in air's large fields of light and seas profound, did hold my wandering thoughts, when thy sweet eye bade me leave all, and only think on thee. Sleep, silence, child, sweet father of soft rest, prince, whose approach peace to all mortals brings, indifferent host to shepherds and to kings, sole comforter of minds with grief oppressed. Lo, by thy charming rod all breathing things lie slumbering, with forgetfulness possessed. And yet o'er me to spread thy drowsy wings thou spares, alas, who cannot be thy guest. Since I am thine, O come, but with that face to inward light which thou art wont to show, with feigned solace ease a true felt woe. Or if, deaf God, thou do deny that grace, come as thou wilt, and what thou wilt bequeath. I long to kiss the image of my death. The heaven doth not contain so many stars, so many leaves not prostrate lie in woods, when autumn's old and Boreas sounds his wars. So many waves have not the ocean floods, as my rent mind hath torments all the night, and heart spends sighs when Phoebus brings the light. Why should I have been partner of the light, who, crossed in birth by bad aspect of stars, have never since had happy day or night? Why was not I a liver in the woods, or citizen of Thetis' crystal floods, than made a man for love and fortune's wars? I look each day, when death should end the wars, uncivil wars, twixt sense and reason's light. My pains I count to mountains, meads, and floods, and of my sorrow partners make the stars. All desolate I haunt the fearful woods, when I should give myself to rest at night. With watchful eyes I ne'er behold the night, mother of peace, but to me of wars, and Cynthia, queen-like, shining through the woods, when straight those lamps come in my thought, whose light my judgment dazzled, passing brightest stars, and then mine eyes enile themselves with floods. Turn to their springs again, first shall the floods, clear shall the sun, the sad and gloomy night, to dance about the pole, cease shall the stars, the elements renew their ancient wars, shall first, and be deprived of place and light, ere I find rest in city, fields, or woods. End these my days, indwellers of the woods, take this my life, ye deep and raging floods. Sun, never rise to clear me with thy light, horror and darkness keep a lasting night. Consume me, care, with thy intestine wars, and stay your influence o'er me, bright stars. In vain the stars, indwellers of the woods, care, horror, wars I call, and raging floods, for all have sworn no night shall dim my sight. What hapless hap had I for to be born in these unhappy times and dying days of this now doting world, when good decays, love's quite extinct, and virtues held a scorn. When such are only prized by wretched ways, who with a golden fleece them can adorn, when avarice and lust are counted praise, and bravest minds live orphan-like, forlorn. Why was not I born in that golden age, when gold was not yet known, and those black arts by which base worldlings vilely play their parts, with horrid acts staining earth's stately stage? To have been then, O heaven, 'thad been my bliss, but bless me now, and take me soon from this. Look how the flower, which lingeringly doth fade, the morning's darling late, the summer's queen, spoiled of that juice which kept it fresh and green, as high as it did raise, bows low the head. Right so my life, contentment being dead, or in their contraries but only seen, with swifter speed declines than erst it spread, and blasted scarce now shows what it hath been. As doth the pilgrim, therefore, whom the night by darkness would imprison on his way, think on thy home, my soul, and think aright of what's yet left thee of life's wasting day. Thy sun posts westward, passed is thy morn, and twice it is not given thee to be born. Of this fair volume, which we world do name, if we the leaves and sheets could turn with care, of him who it corrects and did it frame, we clear might read the art and wisdom rare. Find out his power, which wildest powers doth tame, his providence extending everywhere, his justice, which proud rebels doth not spare, in every page and period of the same. But silly we, like foolish children, rest well pleased with coloured vellum, leaves of gold, fair dangling ribbons, leaving what is best. On the great writer's sense ne'er taking hold, or if by chance we stay our minds on aught, it is some picture on the margin wrought. On death. Death is a piece of the order of this all, a part of the life of this world. For while the world is the world, some creatures must die and others take life. Eternal things are raised far above this orb of generation and corruption, where the first matter, like a still flowing and ebbing sea, with diverse waves, but the same water, keepeth a restless and never tiring current. What is below in the universality of its kind doth not in itself abide. If thou dost complain, there shall be a time in the which thou shalt not be. Why dost thou not too grieve that there was a time in which thou wast not, and so that thou art not as old as the enlivening planet of time? The excellent fabric of the universe itself shall one day suffer ruin, or change like ruin, and poor earthlings, thus to be handled, complain. Then is she gone, O fool and coward I! O good occasion lost, ne'er to be found! What fatal chains have my dull senses bound, when best they may, that they not fortune try? Here is the flowery bed where she did lie, with roses here she stellified the ground. She fixed her eyes on this yet smiling pond, nor time nor courteous place seemed aught deny. Too long, respect, I do embrace your counsel, full of threats and sharp disdain. Disdain in her sweet heart can have no place, and though come here, must straight retire again. Henceforth, respect, farewell, I oft hear told, who lives in love can never be too bold. Dear chorister, who from those shadows sends, ere that the blushing dawn dare show her light, such sad lamenting strains that night attends become all ear, stars stay to hear thy plight. If one whose grief even reach of thought transcends, who ne'er, not in a dream, did taste delight, may thee importune, who like case pretends, and seems to joy in woe's despite. Tell me, so may thou fortune milder try, and long sing, for what thou thus complains, sith winter gone, the sun in dappled sky now smiles on meadows, mountains, woods, and plains. The bird, as if my questions did her move, with trembling wings sobbed forth, I love, I love. Sound, hoarse, sad lute, true witness of my woe, and strive no more to ease self-chosen pain with soul-enchanting sounds. Your accents strain unto these tears incessantly which flow. Shrill treble weep, and you, dull basses, show your master's sorrow in a deadly vein. Let never joyful hand upon you go, nor consort keep, but when you do complain. Fly Phoebus' rays, nay, hate the irksome light. Wood's solitary shades for thee are best, or the black horrors of the blackest night, when all the world, save thou and I, doth rest. Then sound, sad lute, and bear a mourning part. Thou, hell, mayst move, though not a woman's heart. Dear wood, and you, sweet solitary place, where from the vulgar I estranged live, contented more with what your shades me give, than if I had what Thetis doth embrace. What snaky eye, grown jealous of my peace, now from your silent horrors would me drive, when sun, progressing in his glorious race beyond the twins, doth near our pole arrive? What sweet delight a quiet life affords, and what it is to be of bondage free, far from the madding worldling's hoarse discords, sweet flowery place I first did learn of thee. Ah, if I were mine own, your dear resorts, I would not change with princes' stately courts. Thou, window, once which served for a sphere to that dear planet of my heart, whose light made often blush the glorious queen of night, while she in thee more beauteous did appear, what mourning weeds, alas, now dost thou wear? How loathsome to mine eyes is thy sad sight, how poorly look'st thou, with what heavy cheer, since that sun set which made thee shine so bright. Unhappy now thee close, for as of late to wondering eyes thou wast a paradise, bereft of her who made thee fortunate, a gulf thou art, whence clouds of sighs arise. But unto none so noisome as to me, who hourly see my murdered joys in thee.